Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another creative home staging show. I am your host, Kasha McDaniel. And if you are listening for the first time, thank you so much for joining me. And if you've been listening for a while, I know that you're going to get some good nuggets of information from this podcast episode because as a home seller, I know you are stressing over what you can do to get your house sold faster. So in this week's episode, I want to talk about how to stage your home for different buyers. And you may not realize that you need to do just a little bit different for certain homes, whether you're selling your home for a family or selling your home for a single home buyer. Maybe it's a single parent. Maybe it's an older generation and they're downsizing. So they are looking for different types of things in your home that while you may have outgrown your home, it is perfect for someone else. So don't be afraid to show off your home. Even if you think you've outgrown it, it's perfect for somebody else. So let's talk about a family home, because for the most part, a lot of the homes out there are larger homes. Now we're familiar with the larger homes with 4 bedrooms and a bonus to, show off the space. You want to show off the multiple bedrooms as bedrooms. Bonus rooms should be a space for either kids' toys or maybe a game room. You still want to declutter, just like you know all of this in my home staging strategy episode. I'll leave the link in the show notes so you can take a look as to how exactly the steps that I take when I go room by room, what it is that I do. All the time I help families sell their house because they're either going to, moving for a new job, or they're moving for family to get closer to them and the space that you've enjoyed, right? So you still want to show off that space. Okay. So for the family to look at home staging trends that may be going out, maybe you've just repainted and realized, ooh, maybe this is not the right color anymore. So I'll leave that link in the show notes too with 2025. Now, if you are a single home buyer, younger generations are going to that they can afford with the higher mortgage rates, right? You know how that is. And are getting married and looking for a larger home. Your little home is going to be perfect for maybe smaller, but you know what? That single home buyer will probably be okay with it. They may not even be cooking very much. Some of the younger generation has started doing some other things where they have gotten back into cooking, but your kitchen does not have. So you want to still show off the kitchen space by decluttering the counters. Yes, you definitely want to take off all the small appliances. That's just one staging tip that you can do right now. If you have a microwave, if it's on the counter, or want to show off the space, even though it's a smaller kitchen, I know you still want to show off. Yes, there's plenty of takeout. There's a small place to eat. This is a fantastic space for you, right? Because those single home buyers are probably tired of living in an apartment. Living home may be perfect for what they're looking for. Okay. If that's okay for a single home buyer, that's what they're looking for. They may want the studio type size. Maybe that's all they can afford, right? Maybe they just want maybe 2 bedrooms is enough for them. But you still want to sheets, open the blinds, make it nice and bright. Because when you do that, when you make it lighter and brighter, don't think like you're going to sell, not decorating how you live in the house. You may love it to be, dark curtains and, all that kind of stuff, and the darker colored furniture or the darker sheet, to make it as bright as possible, make it as open and airy as possible. And the bedroom is the easiest one that you can brighter for the buyer. Okay. A single person may also be bringing a pet. So if you have a small yard, don't have, something like that, but there's a dog park just down the road. Leave a flyer with that information. Take a walk. This is a great neighborhood for that, kind of a thing, right? Maybe there are amenities nearby, like a pool, right? A newsletter. Maybe you aren't, doing that anymore, but the buyer may be interested to know, hey, they have these activities, these social activities that are when you're selling your house, so they can see, oh wow, this is an active community. Single buyers are going to be looking for people to meet, what they can do, what are things where places they can go, so they're actively seeking ways to meet people too. All right. But it's probably perfect for somebody else. And if you have concerns or questions, why not join my home staging squad membership, Facebook? But that's really good, still a great media spot for you guys to ask your questions on home staging, whether this wall color is great or the curtain colors, or this is a great place to ask your questions. And what I also start doing is I'm posting weekly home staging tips in this membership. So what do I put on my dining room table? I'm staging, right? I'm going to have weekly staging tips like that in there in this membership. So you can take a look at that. All right. Plus, once a month, I go live and answer your questions. How do I get started? This is a great place to meet in this Home Staging Squad membership. You can join for a month, 2 months, longer if you want, just to kind of see. And that way, I'll leave the link in the show notes so you can take a look at that membership. Now, the baby boomers, and they're the ones that have the bigger houses, but they don't want that large family home anymore. They've outgrown it. They can't maintain it. They're just downsizing and have 3 to 4 bedrooms. You're going to want to make sure that those bedrooms are turned back into bedrooms, at least 2 of them, not, an office or bedrooms into, because the families that are going to be coming in there are the ones looking at your house, and they're going to want to see if a twin size bed or a full size bed fits in there. Make sure that they actually still look like bedrooms when it comes time to sell the house, right? I had one client where she had a crib set, like a nursery set, for her. She saved for her kids, but they haven't taken it yet. So she set up the room as a nursery, which I go, oh, this is a beautiful nursery. Yes, I can imagine themselves living in the home. That's what you're trying to do here, okay? Maybe you have a large yard that you can't keep up with anymore. Make sure it's still looking its best when you're selling it, and take care of it, because families are going to be looking for larger yards, maybe add a pool or add a playground for the kids to play in, or even a place for their family pets. So you don't want to make it look overgrown. Maybe if you do have a vegetable garden, that's a great thing that they may take, that you can use it in so many different ways that a family would probably enjoy, okay? Now, I know boomers have a lot of treasures. I'm calling them treasures, things that they were born in that generation where everything was kept, every little thing, right? Now's the time, baby boomers, to ask your adult children if they want anything from your home, right? Because you're going to be moving, you're going to be downsizing. You can't take everything with you. And please, baby boomers, do not be offended if they don't want it, can't have it, don't have room in their current, you treasured, but someone else is going to treasure it more, okay? If your kids don't, someone else will. It's okay to give that, sell it, do an estate on that, whether you should do an estate sale first or home staging first. I'll leave that link in the show notes as well. If you are in that situation when you have too many treasures and you're wondering, what do I do with this? How do I get started? What do I need to do? Right. So that one is my episode, the estate sale, as well. Another thing to think about as a baby boomer, maybe you haven't changed or updated some things in your home. You might want to check out my Home Staging Trends 2025 episode, where you may need to update some things. Maybe there's some wall colors that you use that recently that you're like, this is not going to work anymore. So you may need to update a few things around your house. That episode can help you. And I think there's another one. I'll leave the link in the show notes as well. I can't think of it, but it had to do with outdated trends and things like that, that maybe, fluorescent lighting, if you have something like that, or the Hollywood lights in the bathroom, things like that, that you can easily change and update, because buyers are going to be looking to see, well, how much updating do I need to do before I move in? Okay. So take a look. That's something that can help you get your house sold faster, because you don't update it, it may hinder the sale of your house. Now, again, you want to work with your real estate agent and talk about what things you change. You don't want to do a full-on home remodeling project just before selling your house. You're not going to get your return on investment, but there are little things you can do. And I do have an episode where I talk about top home improvements that you can do that are smaller projects, things like replacing light fixtures, not a whole kitchen remodel, because you're not going to get everything back for that, right? And especially as me as a home seller, when we moved into our house, we remodeled the kitchen because we knew we were going to be there for a few years. So we did that in the very beginning so that we could enjoy it, right? We also then later on at that same house, we updated the master bathroom. There were certain things that really we lived with, but we're like, okay, it'd be nice if we could do this. And instead of doing a whole bathroom remodel, which was at the time, $60,000. Now prices are probably a whole lot more than that. We wouldn't, again, have gotten our money back. We just spent $2,000 on countertops, some fixtures, and did that, and sold the house over asking price. So you don't have to do a lot of remodeling before selling your home, because again, the domino effect of when you're changing things, if one room looks great and then the other ones are not looking the greatest, they're not as updated, you'll see it. And then you'll think, well, I should probably update this one and then update this one. See the domino effect? We don't want to go there. So take a look at what things you may want to consider if you're doing any remodeling or home improvements around the house before selling your house. Okay. So while your house may not be ideal for you anymore, there are others who are looking, whether they are single home buyers, um, families who want more space, or boomers who just don't want all that space and need to downsize. Okay. And they can't keep up with the maintenance. So now you know how to make a great first impression by showing off your home features to the right buyers. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you later.